Welcome back to Kush FX, guys. I hope you guys had an awesome trading weekend, that you're having an awesome weekend as it relates that the market is closed, which I really hate when the market is closed. Sometimes I do look at cryptos as I like Bitcoin or Dogecoin or something like that. Yeah, so I really hope you guys really enjoyed your trading weeks and you did caught some of the move, which I did, went in not really in depth, but showed you guys what to expect for last week. And I will definitely will be doing a breakdown to what to anticipate for this upcoming week and further down as well. And to also do a whole intro, as I didn't got to upload the intro video. So let's get right into it. Yeah. So trading for me this week was really awesome as it relates that I did saw some of these moves as it relates that in a previous video. If you guys remember, I told you once I get the break of this, I will be looking for sharp, which I got perfectly, and I did somewhere in here on the minute. I did find a nice zone where it took sells and caught this awesome trade. I didn't actually caught all of it. This 1 to 14 I probably caught, like, I think it was a 1 to 5 if I'm correct. It should be a 1 to 5. I'll show you guys later in my trading journal. I think it was a 1 to 5. I got off it because I didn't hold the entire move, and I also caught this, which was really sad because what happened during the time when I went into this trade, I was still asleep. And I didn't, and because news came out, I normally do trade in news, but I don't recommend you guys trade in news because the market is like really difficult to trade in. It can blow your account, so I wouldn't advise you to do that if you don't know what you're doing as it relates to how the market moved within that time. So it was really disappointing for me to get the trade like exactly into that zone and didn't actually hold it because we're still kind of holding bullish, but because I didn't like went down on a lower time frame to see that this was broken at the time, because I just woke and just said, yeah, it's in my zone. Me just get in. I did get a nice confirmation there as well. Yeah, so as it relates to that, I could have caught, because I think it was a 1 to 4 and it ran. Yeah, so this was the day, and the next morning, the next session started there, a 1 to 14. So it was a 1 to 4. They caught the whole 1 to 4, but it's a 1 to 4, so that's good. As it relates to this was a next news event. I did got into got into this buy, but wow, this was a next news event. Because of the news, I was expecting it to hold in here, but it didn't. Just continue running lows, and it is what it is, because I was expecting it for like hit this and just continue go down, but unfortunately I didn't get that, and I don't control the market, so it is what it is. So it's, it's nothing really, it's just part of the game. And then I caught this buy, which this one actually break even. I By the time I got back on this trade, it was already, I break even early, and then just took me out, and I said, all right, this was a 5 minute zone. I believe I had a 5 minute zone here, which I was expecting to see sells from, due to the fact that we are definitely bearish still. And once it came back up into this zone, I just looked for my confirmation, got right in and hold it, and I caught like a 1 to 6 out of it, because I normally don't close all of my trade, because it can definitely continue run as it relates to this. And then Friday we caught the big one. I did close out most of my. I did close out this one, but I didn't like all of it. I caught like 1 to 4, and the market just came back up. But I'm definitely expecting to see sales from here. Yeah, so when the market opens, it probably like do something like this, just continue running down. That's what I will definitely look to see happen this week. So let me just get right into it. Yeah. So in the whole work space, I'm definitely gonna be uploading a lot of content on how I view the market, and I'll drop a lot of psychological gem because I believe like in terms of the market, anything in the market really works is just you applying yourself and sticking to your rule and having a rule based system and following that system. And once you can do that, you'll definitely be a profitable trader. But sticking to your rule and your plan is not only that, because the psychological aspect of the market is very something that you have to much mature in, and the only way you mature in your psychology as it relates to trading is by experience, back testing, journaling. That's the only way you get better as it relates to being confident in your trade, holding your trade, not being greedy, not letting your emotion gets the best of you, not closing out too early, not and FOMO in all of that. Yeah, so the psychological aspect is one of the biggest point in the trading industry. If you don't have that, it doesn't, the market's gonna eat you, because that's what it did me for months, until because I was always a good trader, but psychologically I did not have that, because I went through so many intricacy of trading as it relates. I normally swing trade, scalp, intraday, day. I've been through it like all the aspect and tried out all of them. So the thing about trading is that it has to actually fit your personality or your style of trading, what you wanna actually get out of the market. If you want to do it as a side hustle person, you want to start a business out of it, it really depends on you and your character overall, and that's something you're gonna figure out during your journey as it relates to trading. So over the weeks and months and the years, if God spares my life, I will be uploading a lot of content as it relates to how I view the market, how I deal with my psychological problems as it is, because until this day I still have psychological issue as it relates to trading. They don't really like affect me like a point of time when I was trading, but the more experience you get in the market, it's the better you get, because trading is really something that should become second nature or hands on, or even be like a repetition. You're seeing that exact setup and just taking it and executing it, managing it to how you set up your trading plan as it relates to all of that. And that overall just comes through experience, and over a point of time you start somewhere like this, or if you somehow start in an industry and you get a bit beginner luck, you'll end up like flying all the way up here, and then over time you probably hit here, and then you probably get back up, and then you're back to zero. And if you don't have a solid foundation as it relates to trading, you stay up here. But once you get into learning a system, you get here. Once you get to learning a system, you probably create a next flow, then you begin sticking to those rules, and then you like apply risk management, and then you like start to learn psychological gem and applying it. You probably go back down, and then once you put all of that together, this is where you are in trading. That's if you ask anyone, that's everyone's learning curve as it relates to probably getting some beginner's luck, then just coming back down, don't know where to go. You get probably a mentor, you get a trading plan from your mentor, you tweet it, and then you probably was just being greedy and not sticking to your rule or something like that, and then you just hit back. You probably don't go back down and you still believe in your system, and you probably hit break even, and once you started to like apply risk management, sticking to your trading plan and following all your rules, because your rule really embedded embedded your psychological aspect of the market, because that really plays a part as it relates to sticking to your rule, help you to be more psychological stable. And once you do that, you're just up from there. You move from zero to all the way to 100 real quick by just doing that. So that's pretty much that as it relates to how your trading journey will actually be. So enough of the whole chit chat as it relates to me ranting and giving you a little advice of what I'm gonna be doing over the course of the time I spend on YouTube. So this week was really good for me as it relates that I caught a lot of move. Not only in this, I believe I caught one on EU. I caught an EU trade, a nice one, but like a little part of the move. I did know that this, I did caught this buy, but trust me, it's just really sad that I didn't actually hold, because I was actually expecting it to hit here, but this is what over refinement costs you. And I don't really trade like forex pairs, so that's why I wasn't that really interested to really view it or even consider it. But looking at EU, well, I can definitely start with EU. I because it doesn't have to only be NAS. I can definitely give you guys breakdowns of other trades as well. So this for me will be liquidity, but it's not liquidity as yet because it haven't the previous structure. We have to wait until all the structures starts to correlate. So if you notice what the market has been doing, as I said, the market does repeat itself. So it's been giving us something like this as it relates to it's falling or creating a real bearish trend, which has been processing over months. And we can get one more test in here, and it just run all of this because because I do believe that over time it will get somewhere in here, and this is where I'm actually expecting it to go as it relates to following order flow. It creates a high, higher low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and this will be the next higher low in there. in there to actually do something like this, and that's over the coming years. That's if it wants to do that, but if it breaks here, I'll definitely look for it to continue running these low. The same thing which I showed you guys on NAS Sunday. Yeah, so really what I will do for this upcoming week, it's gonna definitely run, it's definitely gonna run. Let me change the color of this. Definitely gonna come and run all these highs and probably mitigate somewhere in here and continue going short. So this is what, let me just give you a preset bias as it relates to EU. So I wouldn't actually be bullish unless we get above here. So what I would do is that when we get in here, you can definitely look to see sells. So this is what I will be looking for on EU if I was trading EU for this upcoming week. So you can expect to see price get somewhere up in there, and you can look for buys in here. But as I always mention, that structure, higher time frame structure is king, and higher time frame structure says that we're gonna run all these lows, and that's what I will definitely expect to see in the upcoming weeks. But we're in a little bullish trend, but if it breaks here, that's when I will look to continue being bullish. If it breaks here, look to see something like this and continue going up, but I doubt that will happen due to the fact that we are still in that large order flow for sells. So that's what I will look for. Or if you're trading on a lower time frame, you can definitely look to see sells into here, somewhere into here. I actually like this zone here. So if it want to go back down, this is where it will actually go back down to, but I wouldn't start to look for sells as yet until we get the break of this. So once it breaks this, you can look for sells to like come in. If it breaks this, you can look for that, look for this, look for that, and then you can look for the run up into here. And that's pretty much it for EU. So this is what I will be looking for. So either it's good, yeah, so you only look for those sells if it breaks this. If it doesn't break this, it's gonna continue, because the market can just, as I showed you guys in the other previous video, market can just open and come up here, and then don't bother look to try to get in at that point. Just wait for this. If you wait for this, and you get a shift in structure on a lower time frame, which I will be going in depth on to break down how I view structure on the lower time frame as it relates to how the market moves, because the market really moves the same way on all time frame. Time frame for me doesn't actually exist because price is fractal. So the same thing you're seeing is doing on this 1 second, the 1 minute, the same thing operating on the daily, the 4 hour, and the monthly. Just operate slower or faster. Pretty much that's what's happening. But you can definitely to see this, or so that's what I will look for. But I will definitely, when it hits here, you're gonna get a shit tons of buy to come back and run, and to get to at least here, which I have marked out here. So you get that as well. But what you guys can definitely do is, like, in my comment section, you can definitely remember to subscribe and like. And if you have any pair you want to see me break down, you can definitely leave a comment, and I will definitely go over it in the upcoming weeks. I'm in that Bitcoin trade right now, and yeah, And this was the, no, that's not it. That was what for NAS. This is was Bitcoin before it actually break down where it is now. So I'm expecting it to get down into here and look to continue buys. But yeah, it hasn't reached anywhere yet for my first partial. And for, yeah, for 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 US 30. US 30 looks ugly. US 30, well, yeah, US 30. US 30 still can come back up in higher into this zone, but we're definitely still short on this. What is hitting? It's hitting somewhere in there. It's probably just feel an imbalance and go down, but it didn't mitigate this. It can definitely come and do that, but it doesn't have to. Probably feel some smaller supply as it relates to how it's moving. But what I will definitely look for is that this overall this is what it's mitigating, but that's too large. So let me see here. What to expect? Well, it still can run up into here. This is where I will actually look to sell from, but where it is now, it can definitely continue to just break down, or you can wait on this move. Well, this is pretty much mitigated, so it's probably just gonna continue as it really started. Did tap into this and where it's hitting now. Yeah, so if it wants to, yeah, if it wants to, what did it hit? Did it hit this? Still missed that. So let me go for time frame. Oh, this is what it's, yeah. So if it wants to, yeah. So that's what it mitigates. But if I was to like refine this zone, I'll refine it to this. But it's just mitigating the higher time frame. So yeah, so it's definitely still moving bullish. It's more bullish than NAS at this time, because if you see here this trend, should I change the color? Yeah, so I wouldn't even go any further. Carry this still. You see how this is holding so clean? Yeah, so this is what it's doing as it relates to that. And what you can expect is once it breaks here, this is where I will look for sells if it breaks here to continue go down. Yeah, so I will actually wait for the break of here. I'll wait for the break of this. Well, actually no. Actually no, it's actually breaking down because this is a new order flow. This will be the first break. So, but it's still into this range because this it didn't really tap anything, barely mitigated, but it's definitely a mitigation. So what I would actually do is to wait for this to be tapped into, and if it gives me something like this, I'll wait one more time and look to take it short. That's what I'll wait for on US 30. Yeah, but it's don't really like how it's looking right now. NAS now. Let me just clean this up. NAS. Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is really messy. But I like to keep it that way because there's pointers that I leave to kind of understand where I am. Yeah, so NAS, pretty much for NAS, we still want to see it go short. We still want to see it go short, but it can definitely come back up. It's still holding, but I don't really like it. It's not, I doubt it will do this. So it, yeah, so if you guys remember, I did say that it was gonna run all these lows. Yeah, so from the minute it break this structure, we definitely gonna continue going short, and where it actually is right now, it can definitely go short from there, but you can anticipate to see because because how it actually is that if price did wanna continue, if it did wanna run this way, it would have. So I may look for buys. You may look for buys once I get the breakout of this range here. I'll look to take buys up into here, but that range is still holding. So that's one thing that you can look for, but I'm not really to that side. I'm still more to the bearish side that I am to look for to force to actually force buy. The only way you should look to take buys is if it breaks out of this range. So I'll just leave this right here as my point of invalidation. So once it breaks above that line, I'll definitely look to take buys up into here, and from here then you can look to short to continue running the lows. So the only way I will take buys is if it does something like this, if the market opens, because as I said, the market can open impulsively due to the fact that it has over the count of orders. So what I will do is look for something like this and go up into here to continue giving shorts, continue running the lows as I break down in the previous videos. But let me see if I can actually refine it. Everything is mitigated except for this. So this is exactly what I will look for, or this, either one, whichever one gives me the breakdown, but I'm more into this one. Whichever one gives me the breakdown, the shift into price, that's the one I will actually look for, but it's gonna come into either one of those. So because we're still moving bearish and we haven't break out of the range, it's currently mitigating this. So it just came back and tapped into the zone again, but I really wanted to just see continue running the lows, which it didn't. So the only way I will look to go short, continue going short, I wouldn't go short until I break this intermediary structure. As I mentioned in the previous video, Sunday video, guys, the market moves the same. So this for me, because it's creating all this structure here, and this is one of my secrets I'm giving you right now. So how I pre-structure, I look at structures liquidity. Once it starts to run that structure, so once I get the break of here, I'm gonna look to wait for one more retest in that zone and look for it to just continue giving me this. But I wouldn't enter the market until it break this, because order flow is currently holding where? Right here. It's currently holding right here, so price can definitely come into this zone and mitigate and just continue move up into the zone which I have drawn out up here. So you can definitely look to, yeah, so if it holds here, then we can look for buys. Once it gives me the run of those highs, this high, I will definitely look to take buys once it gives me the run of this high. But for me, once it runs this low, I'll look to take it short into here, because this is what it will come back to actually mitigate to give us the sell that will continue running all the lows, and you can definitely expect to see move further down in this upcoming week. That's definitely what I will be looking for, but it can play out either ways. You just have to be patient and wait to see which one it wants to give us, if it's gonna break out of this range or it's gonna break this intermediary low. So whichever ones it gives us over Sunday's Asian session, then pre-New York, you can definitely look to get into it, because we definitely is still bearish. So this is more what I would definitely want to see. This is what I will definitely want to see in the pre-New York session. So we're more to get this than anything else in the market. But if it once it runs this low, once it definitely runs that low, I'll definitely be bearish to come and run all these lows. And you can look for buys in here as well. Buys. If you're a scalper, you can look to take some buys in here, but it's not gonna hold if you get back down there. And as I stated, you can look to see sells continue. So I don't need to really have to go up any more time frame, because you can see, if you watch the previous video, you definitely see what I'm talking about as it relates to these points becoming liquidity, because how order forward the minute, because this was really, yeah. So you see, as I did mention in the previous video, this was actually a breakout structure. This was a breakout structure, but sometimes it can be absorption as well as a weekend. So as I mentioned, we create a low, create a high, create a higher low, create a higher high, create a higher low, create a higher high, then we create a lower low, a lower high, and then we create a new low. So what do you expect the market to do? Give you a next lower high, probably here or where it is now, and give you a next lower low. And that's pretty much it for the week. Structure is king. So once you understand structure and all time frame, the market just comes simple to you. You don't even need indicators or anything like that. It's very simple. Once you put in the time, you dedicate yourself, you backtest to what you like to see in the market, or what you see repeating over and over for you, would definitely be profitable. So yeah, that's about it for the week. I will be uploading the next video on Monday. Yeah, Monday morning in the pre-New York. And if you guys want to see me go live in the morning session as well, I definitely can do that as well. Just leave a comment, and remember to like, follow, and share, and just tell me the pairs that you guys want to see me look at. Oh, let me do one more gold. Tell me the pairs that you guys would like me to see would like me to see breakdown, and I'll definitely have that done for you guys. So right now, gold right now is moving bullish. So what you can definitely expect, I'm not gonna really even break this down. This is what gold is gonna do. You just can expect that. So that's what I will anticipate. Let me just make sure. Yeah, let me see the daily. Yeah, so we still, if you notice, order flow is still breaking down, so we're gonna create a next low down into here. This is where we're heading, and I believe, if I'm correct, I showed a girl this like last year. I saw this last year. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna probably pull up the text and show you guys that I did predict this move to like down here. The same thing for NAS. What's NAS doing right now? Saw it from last year as well. And we're definitely gonna hit down here as well. US 30, US 30, the same thing. US 30 is gonna go down there. Bitcoin 10k. Saw that like last year as well. We're heading all the way down here. It's pretty easy. Once you understand structure, you definitely know what's gonna happen in the market and you can predict it. But my bias is never right, or at least I get confirmation on it, so I just wait to see what the market does and then I adapt to it. But it works either way. So either I'm gonna be a buyer or a seller because I know what I want to see in the market. So it's pretty much just adapting yourself to the market and you'll be fine. So yeah, that's about it for today, guys. So really, it's pretty simple because this is really what you should expect in the market. And yeah, so just comment below which period you would like me to see me break down, and like, follow, and share. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.